What's the most money you ever made in a day?
$31 million.
And how did you do that?
We make and sell alcohol.
And how did you get into that?
Saw a niche in the market that wasn't being filled, which was high quality spirits at a fair, everyday low price. And then that expanded into beer, wines. We started manufacturing it ourselves and now have breweries, distilleries, and wineries around the world.
That's Manjit Minhas, co-founder of Minhas Breweries, one of the biggest private label beer makers in the world. She makes an insane amount of money doing something insanely cool. And this is me asking her a bunch of wild questions. Fair warning, Manjit doesn't hold back. If you like this stuff, go ahead and like, comment, share with a friend, and smash that subscribe button. Let's do it. And how old were you when you got started?
I was 19 years old. I co-founded it with my younger brother, who's a year and a half younger than I. We were both studying engineering when we started the business.
And what did the business look like on day one?
On day one, the business looked like me and my brother and a co-packer in the United States making a wide variety of spirits for us to our specific recipes. And us, when we weren't in school, going and selling it to not only liquor stores, but anybody who could buy alcohol.
So you were taking alcohol and going door to door to liquor stores?
Yeah, we were a sales, marketing, and branding company. That day one or even day 10, never dreamed of actually being a manufacturer and owning manufacturing businesses, but also everything else in between from distribution to you name it. That was definitely never, we didn't think in the cards. But as things started going along, we discovered in order to have control, to be a large competitive player, to make more money, you had to have more control of everything along the way.
And how did you get your first customer?
Ironically, was my dad. My dad owned liquor stores in Calgary because when he was laid off from the oil patch, he was an engineer. He opened up liquor stores in Alberta because it had just become privatized at the same time.
So your dad was an entrepreneur too?
Yes, he was.
Entrepreneurship run in the family?
Well, it didn't before my dad or us. Everybody else in our traditional Indian family are, doctors, engineers, and accountants. But I think now it does. I hope my two girls become entrepreneurs, but who knows?
When you were starting the business, did anyone tell you that it was a dumb idea?
Oh, yeah, everybody, including the bank who I went to try to get money from. They were like, what are you talking about? It really wasn't a thing. I know it's hard for people to believe that now, 26 years later.
What did it cost you to start this business?
Well, we had $10,000, and that's what we started with. It was my savings, my brother's peanut dustings, because he's not a saver, still not.
So you started a business that today does many, many millions on a $10,000 that you got by selling your RAV4.
100%. Yep. I sold a RAV4 that my parents gifted to me when I was 16 to drive him and me to school.
What was that first year like?
That first year it was really a side hustle. It was interesting because we were starting to see validation from customers to tell us that, oh, they liked it. And then we got other liquor stores telling us, hey, how do I get this in my stores? How do I get it on my shelves? And so it was really interesting to say, okay, this idea that we had is actually not only something that is needed and wanted in the marketplace, but there's a lot of potential here if we spend a bit more time here. First year was definitely tough, but also learnings, lots of learnings. I learned how to read spreadsheets and balance sheets, and I learned so much about every part of business, from duties to import taxes to you name it. It was a fascinating hockey stick of education.
Who was the first person you hired that changed everything?
A salesperson. I truly believe every company makes or breaks itself with sales.
Do you have a specific salesperson that you hired that just kind of changed the game for you?
Yeah, he was our first. He was incredible in so many different ways. He was new to this country. He was looking for an opportunity. We met him through interesting circumstances, and he was a hustler. He didn't have a car. He didn't have a driver's license. We didn't have any spare funds. He took the bus to go and meet his potential customers, and he rocked it for us, for sure, and showed us what was possible.
Did you ever struggle to pay the bills?
Yes and no, meaning that I was very conscious of spending only what we had, and I always knew what we had. So I wouldn't say that we ever got behind or I owed anybody any money.
What's the worst customer you ever had to deal with?
There's lots of bad customers.
So clients that just don't pay the bills, that sounds pretty bad.
It is. And I think that unfortunately every business has those, and you have to set yourself up financially to say, what are those losses? Because they exist.
Have you ever regretted firing somebody?
I have never personally fired somebody. I will tell who I would like to be fired, but I have never done it myself.
So you have this image on TV of being the tough gal, but you've never actually fired anyone.
John, you're breaking my total character here. Yes. Yes, I don't ask me why, but there's a couple things that I have not and will not do. I will not eat alone in a restaurant, and I will not fire anybody.
Hey guys, real quick, if you're liking this video so far, let me know by leaving a like or a comment and share the episode with a friend. Plus, if you're building a business or hope to one day, grab one of my free playbooks. Head over to jondavids.com/playbook. Back to it. What's the worst decision you've made since starting this business?
None, because I think all of them led to where we are today. I'm not one that believes in regret. I don't really spend too much time looking backwards. I'm all about looking forwards.
What's the best purchase you've made under $500 to grow the business?
Oh my God, I've never bought anything under 500 in our business. In a manufacturing business, it's so expensive. I could say the best purchase we made was our first brewery in Wisconsin. It definitely was not $500, was every penny we had in the bank. But that really set in 2005 our future in a totally different path, being in control of our own business, our domain, and our futures.
So in 2005, you bought a brewery. How did that happen?
Yeah, so they were co-packing the beer for us out of Wisconsin, and some rule changes had happened in government, and we needed to own that brewery. We were just over 80% of the production out of that brewery. It was not for sale. It was fourth generation of a family that had owned it since 1845. The brewery's been around. And we said to them, hey, we need to buy this, otherwise we walk. It was a very weird negotiation.
Why have you always been so against investors?
Yeah, I think that's just an old school mentality that I was raised with. My parents are immigrants, came from India. They always definitely, we grew up with the thought in the house that, listen, you buy what you can afford, what you have in the bank, other than a house. It helps me sleep easier at night. I get control over decision making, which is really important to me as an entrepreneur and a founder. I don't want to answer to others. But for me, it's always just been a foundation of the way we operate.
So you started the business with $10,000, and today it's a huge privately owned company. What do you say to all the people watching that think that they can't even get started because they don't have a ton of money to begin with?
Bullshit. I think they're reading and hearing other people's stories too much. I think that you have to look at what works for you and what you are comfortable with. Do you want to spend most of your time, answering questions of investors and pitching and doing all that? Or do you want to get down to work and make some damn money for yourself?
So as an investor, what's the best investment you've made?
In myself.
Has it ever gotten so hard that you wanted to quit?
Oh yeah, all the time. But I think that is also part of pushing yourself and being a driven person, that you want the best and you want to keep going and you keep pushing yourself.
What do you think is the biggest misconception people have about someone with your kind of success?
Is that it's easy and that we're just lucky. I think two things. One, it's not easy. No matter how successful I am, whatever that definition to people is I'm still working more than probably them every single day. Like, it is something that I wake up in the morning very driven and ready to go, and work hard at it.
How many hours a week do you actually work these days?
Oh God, I stopped counting a long time ago, but it's a lot. It's a lot. I work on the weekends. I take some breaks, scheduled breaks to be with my family.
What mistake has cost you the most money?
Going into an industry and a business that I didn't know anything about, that I saw other people making money in, and I thought, oh, I can do that too. I knew nothing about it. I lost everything. It was a interesting lesson in being humble and sticking to what you know.
When was the last time you felt insecure about money?
I would probably say when the election happened, because nobody knew what was going on. Were tariffs going to kill my entire business?
What's a belief you had 20 years ago that you think is crazy today?
That I had to do everything in the business. I thought I was the smartest in the room and I knew everything because it was my baby.
What's the most money you've ever had in your bank account?
Nobody's asked me that before, but I would say about $100 million.
Were you born rich?
Absolutely not. My dad worked security and redid his engineering degree in Calgary. came from very modest means, and so did my mom. My mom never went to university. No, not very middle class. No, very working family for sure.
So what do you say to people who use the fact that they weren't born rich as a crutch to why they can't get rich?
Listen, I don't think that where you come from as far as your family really matters. I think that that's an excuse. I think that it, in my case, it gave me an amazing work ethic and foundation, and I hope it does the same thing for my kids. But it is not a reason why anybody is successful or not, to be quite honest. I think that that is just an excuse either which way from where you came from.
When you started to make money, what's the biggest splurge you made?
Me and my brother bought matching Bentleys.
If you sold your company tonight, what's the first thing you do tomorrow?
Start another business.
All right, if you like that, show me some love in the comments section and smash that subscribe button. Plus, stick around because you're going to love this next video.